Hello and welcome to video Q&A number 5. Now today's question is from Gemma, and this is her question. Hello Tutor Phil. I started a social work degree in September. I am currently feeling like a fish out of water as I have not studied academically since school, which was 18 years ago. I hear you. We have been set our first 1500 word essay on social work. Any help is appreciated. Okay, let's see what I can do. Here are the assignment details. Critically discuss a significant development in social work post-World War II. And now Gemma is writing, I have decided to look at the Seaborn Report 1968 as I briefly looked at this while doing an Open University course some time ago. My thoughts so far with regard to tackling this essay are as follows. And here are Gemma's thoughts. So she's saying, first I'll briefly describe the development, then I will talk about how and why it was significant at the time, then I'll talk about the report flaws, why certain things did not work, and finally I will answer this question, how does it link with social work practices today? Okay, excellent, very good. So here are my thoughts. First of all, it looks to me like you will be using the power of 3. Why is that? And I'll show you in a second. In the first part, you'll talk about how and why was the report significant at the time. In part B, you'll talk about the report flaws, right? Why certain things did not work. And finally, you're going to talk about how does it link with social work practices today. Okay, you're going to answer each one of these questions in each of these sections. Very good. Now, you may be asking what happened to briefly describing the actual report. Well, let's do the thesis statement and let's see where you can put it so that it would work. So your very first sentence in this essay should sound something like this. The Seaborn Report was an important document that, and blah blah blah, whatever it was. Okay, and that would be a very brief introduction into what the Seaborn Report was. I don't think you should include a separate section just describing the Seaborn Report, and here's why. Because if you do, you will find yourself repeating stuff over and over in the rest of the sections. You see? Why is that? Because your entire paper is about the Seaborn Report. And these sections, A, B, and C, the way you describe them, they are perfect because they're different from one another. But briefly describing the Seaborn Report and allowing a separate paragraph for that, it might be too general. It might be too general, and then you will find that you are repeating yourself needlessly. I think that the best thing to do is to include a sentence describing this report just as a first introductory sentence in this essay. Okay, and then you will say first A, the second B, and third or finally C. And when you're done writing out all the 3 sections, you're done. Well, you have to write your conclusion or not to write it. Now, with regards to a conclusion, of course, you either include it or you don't, depending on whether your professor wants it or not. And I have a couple of nice blogs about it on my website. Now, let's see how a thesis statement would work for this essay. Okay, I want to give you a few thesis writing tips. Now, as you can see, in the very first sentence, and you can devote 1 or maybe 2 or maybe 3 sentences tops to simply describing the Seaborn Report. But what I always advocate is to get to the point as quickly as possible. And this would be your main point, I'm assuming, right? So this paper will explore the significance and the flaws of the Seaborn Report as well as its relevance to social work today. You see how that encompasses your entire paper? You see, this paper will explore number 1, the significance, number 2, the flaws, and number 3, the relevance to social work today. Very good. And then you go ahead and you say, first, it was a significant document because, and then you will say for 3 reasons or whatever, or for 1 reason or for 2 or however many reasons you have. Or you could say it was a significant document in 3 ways. Way 1, way 2, way 3, or in this particular way, or in 2 ways. It's all up to you. I don't know how many ways you have. I don't know how much information you have for this report, right? But you customize it for yourself. I'm just giving you a bit of a template. Second, it had 3 severe flaws. 1, 2, and 3. Now again, it doesn't have to be 3. It's however many you have. Now if you have more than 3, like 7 or even 10, try to distill them into 3. Don't go overboard. A 3 is a very good, healthy magic number. And finally, it is relevant to social work today in the following ways: way 1, way 2, and way 3. And again, if you have more than 3, try to distill them into 3. If you have fewer than 3, maybe try to come up with 1, or write just 1 or 2. Doesn't matter. It's all up to you. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in my upcoming video. Take care.